Hey, everybody, and welcome to a brief product review. This is the brush rinser from Green Stuff World, and I spotted this on Instagram a while back, and my initial reaction was, "This is the jankiest thing I've ever seen." Followed by, "I absolutely must get one." And so here it is. And what this is uh, essentially a replacement for your, you know, uh, nasty glass of water that you use to clean your brushes. And my goal here is to share with you my thoughts on this thing that I did use for at least a month before getting around to doing this review. So let's take a look at it. So first thing is, when you get this, it comes unassembled, and there's not a lot to assemble to it. And you have to excuse the fact that it's a bit dirty because it has been used. But this whole assembly here, that all needs to be put in place by you, and the instructions are okay. They're not great, but I was able to figure it out. It's not that big a deal. It's just a little push button with a spring, with tension being kept on it by the screw here, and then this little rubber piece that keeps the water from flowing out. Because what's going to happen is, this is your water reservoir for rinsing. It goes on there. And then once you put it on, water flows through here and into this little cup. And it stops once it reaches the level of this little channel. And you're going to clean your brush in here, and it's got these little ridges to help you do that. And then once the water in here is dirty, you push the button and it goes away. And you know what? I want to show that to you, but before I did that, I wanted to actually show you the other part of kind of assembly of that, and that is setting up the reservoir. So let's do that real quick. So now I've got some water in the reservoir, and the idea here is that I need to quickly place the reservoir on here, and it just sits there. That's all it does. It doesn't click into place. It doesn't screw down. This is open, so essentially as soon as you flip this over, water is going to start to flow. So let's see what we can do. And what you have to do is, there's you can see this little square piece here and this little opening here, so that tells you what direction to do it. And so as you can see, it's not the most precise thing in the world, and it's overflowed a bit here. But what we can do is we'll push the button. There, that goes away, and you can see it refills, and then it stops right there at the proper level. One thing to keep in mind is this is only going to work properly if your table is level. If it has a fair amount of angle to it, you might have a problem with the water wanting to go too far or run off the side or something like that. It shouldn't be a problem for most people. I think most people work on level benches, but you never know. It might be a problem for you. So anyway, so how does it work? Well, let's put some paint on a brush. I got this brush all gnarly. And I mean, this part of it seems to function perfectly well. And you can, if you want, leave it there until it gets, really mucky. But the whole point of this, to me anyway, seems to be that this is for keeping your water clean at all times. So every time I clean it up, every time I clean a brush, I flush the water down. And don't get me wrong, it didn't take me long to figure out that this is a toilet for your brush. Toilet takes a poop, you flush the toilet. And that's it. And that's pretty much it. So you just keep doing that, and eventually the water goes away. It's out of the reservoir, and you know what? Maybe I'll just keep this down and let it flow out. Because eventually you're going to need to empty this out. This is going to take longer than I thought. Hold on one second. Okay, I cheated and I removed the reservoir. Anyway, when it's done, you're going to have a brick full of nasty paint water that then you then need to empty out. You put it back together. And you start the process. Oh God, there it goes. You start the process over again, and that's on me. I hadn't intended to do that, and really, honestly, this is the only time it's ever gotten this messy. But anyway, it can happen. But that's it. So you go. You've got this much water to go through as you're cleaning your brushes. And I got to say, if my brush is really dirty, I might empty the reservoir twice before needing to, before deciding that I was done. And so it works. It does a decent job. But at the end of the day, like, what problem is it solving? And I guess one of the things is that you're not constantly dipping your brush into dirty paint water, because normally what happens is over time, depending on how often you clean your paint water, your brush gets dirtier and dirtier as you pull it back. And so this means that you're constantly having fresh water cleaning your brush. That's kind of nice. That also means that you only need the one thing. Say, for example, you're one of those people, and I know you're out there, who have a cleaner jar for water cleaner jar for metallics and one for regular paint. I don't do that, but I probably should. This would mean that you would only need the one thing. The problem is, it doesn't really solve a problem, because you still have as much space taken up as 2 jars of water at least. So I don't know that has ended up solving a problem. I like it though. But that's the thing, is I like it, but it's not necessary. I wish it was nicer looking. I wish the reservoir held more water. But that would also mean that the collection brick would need to be bigger as well. So I don't know. It's like, I like the idea of this much more than I like this. So the question is, do you need one? No, you don't need one. Do you want one? I don't know, maybe. It's kind of fun. There's something cool about having a little toilet for your paintbrushes. But I think in the end, this is not going to remain on my workbench. I may find times where perhaps there's a reason why I constantly want to have a source of fresh water to clean my brush, and then maybe I'll fill it back up and use it. And so let's say, I don't hate it, I don't love it. And it's not expensive. I think I spent about $20 for it. I should have probably looked this up before I did the video, but you can look it up if you care. It's on Green Stuff World, and it's the brush rinser. And I guess that's it. It's fine, and you don't need it. And that'll do it for today's video. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.